I'm LaurelLee Loftsgard here with Jessica Runck,
Hi.
writer, actress, producer, our local Hollywood extraordinaire, lives in Los Angeles. So you're going to start writing, or you have written your first column for the Forum.
I have,
Tell
yes.
us a little bit about it and what you're writing about.
Okay, basically it's based on a blog that I was writing for like about 3 years, just about my life in Hollywood. When I moved there, I was just constantly thinking like, this is so crazy, like this would never happen in North Dakota or the Midwest. And so I just started writing about it. And then, so this first column is kind of about that, like a recap on why I moved to Hollywood and kind of my experiences at the beginning. And I just filmed something for the show Southland on TNT. And so it was about that experience too.
So that was kind of your big
That was my
break,
debut. I mean,
so what has kept you motivated?
Fear? No. I think, that's a really good question. I don't know. I think that I just, when I was like a kid, I just felt like I was making movies and for my friends, and they were all kind of reluctantly in them. And like my dad would record them and all that stuff. And so when I moved there, it just was like, I just didn't feel like I could quit yet until I'd actually at least done something on TV, at least, especially like I have a lot of family back here and they all really believe in me and a lot of friends and things. And
so you graduated from Concordia,
I
correct?
did. Woo, go Cobbers.
So what got you, because I mean, generally people from around here stick around here. What made you say,
true.
you know what, I'm going to go for it, I'm moving to LA, I'm going to...
I don't know. I mean, again, ever since I was a kid, I was always like, this is so awesome. I loved growing up on a farm. But I always kind of felt like I wanted to get out and like see the world. And, I've done a lot of traveling, and it's so exciting to live in a big city. And I feel really privileged to have grown up in a really small town, Wimbledon, North Dakota. Woo. And also to get to live in a big city, it's like such a good base. And then you take all of that, like all those roots and all that, like kind of a good head on your shoulders out to the city. Because there's so many people, that live in the city and fall apart because, I don't know, they believe a lot of the hype or whatever it is. And yeah, I don't know, it's so exciting. And there's so many opportunities. I've never lived in a place where I felt like, I could stay here and almost build a life here, but still like move ahead in my career. Yeah. Whereas I used to feel like, I have to move constantly or keep trying to get to a bigger city to try to like further my career.
Because you have your web series, Book Club, which is on Hulu. You can search it on hulu.com.
Yes, you can.
And so you were writer, producer, and actress in that. So how was it kind of being all of it in one?
Good. I actually really liked it, and that might say something about how I like control. I don't know. It was great. Like, I wrote Book Club with my writing partner, Noah Longo, who also graduated from Concordia. And he lives out there as well. And so I went to a casting workshop once where a casting director told me that actors shouldn't read. They should spend all their time watching TV, and they shouldn't waste their time reading. And I was so angry because I went to school for English, and books are like one of my biggest passion. And so I came home and I told Noah that I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this guy said that. We should do a whole show about books. And so that's kind of how it started. So we created this show, and it's just really fun to be one of the people that got to say like, I really think that your hair should be like crazier, or I think that like this line should be changed, or it was really exciting because it felt like
it's part of you in it.
Yeah, it's like a baby kind of, I guess. All the mothers right now are rolling their eyes like, yeah, right. But to me, it was just so exciting to see, like, because then it's everything you want it to be. When you're producing and writing and in it, it's like, it's such a fun feeling. Yeah, it's really exciting.
And so you're, like we said before, you're writing a column for the Forum, a monthly column.
Yeah.
And so you emailed our editor, Matt.
Yes.
So what made you want to do that?
Well, it kind of goes back to the thing where I started to think, I think I kind of want to be a writer. Like, I think more and more. And that said, I mean, I started journaling in like first grade. So I always have been like writing, and I wrote all these stories as a kid and all these books. And I have a degree in it. So it wasn't like out of the blue, really. Yeah. I just thought, it just is really special to me. It holds a really special place in my heart. And I want to try to start doing it more professionally and like for real and on a regular basis. It's so funny because at first I was really focused on acting, and then I just realized I feel like I'm wasting another skill that I have, like writing wise, by not pursuing that too, because they can work so hand in hand. And so I started focusing more on writing, and now I think they're kind of an even plane. I might like writing even more. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting the way like life changes and you kind of, yeah.
So your column, what do you want your readers to take away from it? Because I mean, it's like you're from here.
Yeah.
You're in a big city, and you're letting people know about your experiences.
Yeah.
So what is the main thing you want people to take away?
Maybe a couple things. First, that like, even if you're from a really tiny town, like it doesn't really, you can go wherever you want. Like you can, and they're all valid. Like if you want to stay, that's so great. And if you want to move to Fargo, that's amazing. And if you want to move to New York or LA, like, you know, the world is crazy anywhere you go. And like, it's just, and it's funny. The world is funny and crazy, and any experience will be, you know, you could really do anything if you're from a small town or a big city. Like it doesn't really matter. More so though that like, I guess my column was a lot about like struggle maybe, and like working really hard and having a dream and having something like, and like trying to be a writer and trying to be an actor like in Hollywood is really difficult, and how I rely a lot on the things that I learned growing up on a farm, like how they really relate. So it's like the same thing. It's the same kind of like, just keep trying and just keep going, and like really try to find the humor, and like, because there's so much humor, and you will be like, it can eat you alive if you don't find it, you know, funny and fun, and the whole journey is just like interesting. So I guess like kind of a thank you note, I guess, to like North Dakota as like using all of the things that I learned here to really like help me now in my life now, and just like, yeah, just getting through and keeping on, I guess.